Manuel Noriega, the military figure who led Panama through paths of power, influence, and deep controversy. Manuel Antonio Noriega Moreno was born on February 11, 1934, in Panama, into a middle-class family shaped by discipline, social rigidity, and the strong presence of military influence in daily life. From an early age, Noriega sensed that authority was not something expressed solely through direct orders or physical force. It was also a matter of shrewdness, strategic thinking, the cultivation of political contacts, and the ability to read people with precision. His childhood unfolded among admiration for powerful figures, the looming presence of the United States due to the Panama Canal, and the social inequalities that defined a small yet strategically crucial nation. Growing up in this environment, Noriega learned that information, connections, and the capacity to anticipate the intentions of others were forms of power as valuable as any uniform or weapon. His military education began early, and Noriega quickly demonstrated unwavering discipline and a particular gift for intelligence work and strategic interpretation. Higher-ranking officers saw in him someone capable not only of following military orders but also of anticipating movements, navigating unspoken rules, and maneuvering in an atmosphere filled with uncertainty. In an era when loyalty could shift overnight and alliances were fragile, Noriega showed an intuitive understanding that effective influence was rarely tied solely to an official rank. True power, he understood, came from control of information networks, from forging alliances quietly, and from knowing when to apply pressure without provoking open resistance. During the 1960s and 1970s, Noriega advanced steadily through the ranks of the Panamanian military, earning a reputation as a disciplined officer, a talented strategist, and a master of discreet yet decisive political maneuvering. He understood when to intervene with authority and when to remain hidden in the shadows, strengthening his position by balancing competing political forces. In a country whose geographic location made it the center of global economic interests, Noriega became increasingly indispensable. He navigated with skill between the priorities of the United States, internal military factions, and local political groups, consolidating a form of power that few dared to confront openly. His relationship with U.S. intelligence, particularly the CIA, became one of the defining factors of his career. For years, he was considered a useful asset, a bridge between Washington's geopolitical objectives and the political realities of Central America. Noriega participated in intelligence operations, shared information, and positioned himself as a key regional actor. Yet he also cultivated a quiet independence, expanding his influence within Panama and making sure that his power did not depend exclusively on foreign support. He understood better than most that international loyalty is often temporary and that geopolitical alliances shift based on convenience, not principle. In 1983, Noriega formally assumed leadership of the National Guard, which soon evolved into the most powerful institution in the country, effectively becoming the ruler of Panama. His regime blended personal charisma, strict discipline, calculated repression, and total control over state institutions. Throughout his government, Noriega balanced political pressure on the opposition with the preservation of certain formal institutions, maintaining the appearance of structure while exercising direct authority behind the scenes. For many Panamanians, the line between order and arbitrariness blurred. For others, Noriega's authority was absolute and unavoidable. His government embodied a series of paradoxes. On one hand, Panama experienced economic growth, modernization of infrastructure, and increased international visibility. On the other hand, corruption expanded, censorship became more pronounced, and political repression intensified. Noriega managed these contradictions with strategic precision, maintaining networks of influence, controlling the media, securing military loyalty, and ensuring that diverse sectors remained dependent on his leadership. He understood that power in a small but globally significant country required a delicate mix of respect, fear, and strategic dependency. The turning point arrived in December 1989, when tensions with the United States reached an irreversible point. The U.S. launched a military invasion known as Operation Just Cause, bringing Noriega's rule to an abrupt end. He was captured and taken to the United States to face charges of drug trafficking, money laundering, and criminal association. These trials exposed a complex web of political, military, intelligence, and criminal connections, revealing how Noriega had built a multifaceted system of power that extended far beyond Panama's borders. His downfall not only marked the end of an era for Panama but also transformed him into a symbol, part cautionary tale, part myth. Even in prison, Noriega retains symbolic relevance. His figure became a recurring subject of academic analysis and debates about Latin American power structures. For many scholars, Noriega exemplified how authority in certain regions can be built on a combination of military force, intelligence operations, personal networks, and manipulation of geopolitical tensions. His story also highlighted the dangers inherent in regimes where power is concentrated without meaningful institutional limits. When such power loses external support or faces internal fractures, collapse becomes inevitable. Manuel Noriega died on May 29, 2017, in Panama, leaving behind a legacy marked by shadows, contradictions, and historical lessons. His life demonstrated that power can be constructed through intelligence, strategy, and the ability to anticipate others' actions, but also that no regime, no matter how tightly controlled, is immune to external pressure or internal instability. Noriega remains a figure that inspires both fear and fascination, a leader whose rise and fall continue to illustrate the complexities of authority, the ambiguities of control, and the fragility of political power when it relies simultaneously on repression and unstable alliances. In the end, Noriega's story reminds us that determination and strategic skill can elevate a leader to great heights, but that the risks accompanying unchecked control can lead to dramatic downfall. His legacy is a complex historical lesson, one that continues to provoke reflection on leadership, power, vulnerability, and the thin line separating political success from collapse.